Hello, hello. Sorry for that sweet delay. That was not a sweet delay. Sorry for the delay. This is Pierson here. I am the number one live art streamer in the world, and you are watching 500 Days of Drawing. Today is day 464. What can I say? What can I say? 464 days of drawing. I think I've gotten better. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. So we're gonna be doing well, today is Cactus Sunday, and so that's the day that I do a cactus drawing. It's kind of like an homage to one of my an homage to during the time when I did like either 200 or 300 days of drawing, when I did one cactus every day for 100 days straight. So I kind of do one every day, every Sunday now, to kind of just like, produce something every week. Yeah, let's get started, shall we? Alrighty. Lazy Sunday. Lazy Sunday it is, man. Let's go ahead and get started. We all started. There we go. All started. Here we go. And very simple. The last thing I did was the last color I used was purple. And that was, we'd like to use the color wheel. And we're going to hit this. And then we're going to go ahead and do like a blue background, like a bluish background this time. So I go to background. As you can see, what I have already established, I have all my layers pretty much preloaded. I have a template that I've saved strictly for my cactuses to save me some time. Now let's do some elliptical work. There we go. Oh, we don't want that. Let's go ahead and do the I think that'll be good. And then a little bitty holes inside. And maybe even do some of this. All right, and now let's go ahead and press G, and we're gonna use, I don't know, like, let's just see what this color looks like. Maybe like, yeah, there we go. Let's just do a bright orange. How about that? Woo, intense, man. Get some intense bright orange in that. How about it? Now, this is where I play around with the brushes. I'm gonna play around the brushes today. Let's see what we have. Remove that. And let's just kind of go through the lineup. And what we need to do before we go is do that. What's this look like? It's kind of, there we go. What about this brush? So I like this to kind of play around with these brushes to see. Ooh, that one's kind of cool. Like the darker, the more pressure that you put on it, the more interesting it gets, or the darker it gets. What about this like? Okay, enough of the wash. Ink brush. What about a wet brush? See what that looks like. Well, I kind of like that. What's that look like? Ooh, yeah. Like a red. It kind of reminds me of like, ooh, so pretty. Just playing around with this wet brush here. That's what we're going to do, is just kind of play around with the wet brush, see what that kind of makes. What about like a dark wet brush? No, we won't do that. And what about like a... I love that. That's cool, man. The wet brush. What's the ink block dry look like? Let's see what that does. Okay. Okay. I dig. Now we need to do like a darker color. Uh-oh. There, I kind of like went out. And let's go ahead and do like a really bright color. Again. Let's do this color or this color. Okay, I think that's it. Let's go ahead and lock it. This is just fun. I like this is one of the nice things about like doing these cactus drawings, is I get to like play around with brushes I normally don't play around with. So let's see here. I don't like that. All right. Just checking some stuff. Oh, look at that. That's kind of cool, man. Kind of cool. Let's lock the whole group, collapse it, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to draw our cactus. I've been very lazy with my cactuses as of late. Just really lazy with them. Just really lazy. Not really not just like really lazy, really simple. I've been almost making my cactuses angular. This angular, really. You know, just really angular cactus shape. And then just kind of, you know, it is what it is. If it doesn't, yeah, just kind of keep it like a simple cactus. Yeah. There we go. And then we just do our pot. Really simple little pot here. In fact, I'm going to go like a narrow pot this time. I haven't done one of those before. Or I haven't done one of those in a while. Like that. And now we're just going to select it. Because select it and we're going to center it. Vertical center, image, layer, align limber, layers to selection to horizontal, and now delete, deselect, and now that's our shape. That's our cactus. Now we're just going to go ahead and fill it up. Fill it up, man. We're just going to knock it out of the park. Just knock it out of the park. Press B, brush, get a like a brown, and just kind of be really like. There we go. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to do eraser, but we're going to use a hard edge eraser. And we're just going to kind of like do it like this. You know? And let more flaws show through. Just let more of the flaws show through. You notice how they can see that little transparency? Because I'm using that like hard edge as an eraser. And so that allows for like, I don't know, it just makes it more interesting to me. Essentially, I'm gonna press E, but I'm gonna use an opaque. I'm gonna zoom out here, and this one's gonna be hard edge, but actually no, well, it is gonna be hard edge and opaque, but I'm not gonna have it straight. It's just gonna be done by hand. So whatever it looks like is what's gonna look like. I'm becoming more and more like lax and loose with how the lines look, because I think the way that my cactuses look almost need to have that like really relaxed approach, you know, to how I draw. Like they need to be more relaxed. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase a lot of this or part of it and leave some of that transparency behind, you know. And notice I'm actually going quite fast this time. I think it's because I just don't care. I don't care how it looks. Like I'm not, like I could leave it like this. I'm becoming more and more see, like how it's transparent there. I'm gonna do that like that. Oh yeah, it's cool. I'm starting to like that like really weird soft edge angular approach to some of the, like you see that transparent point there. That's what I've been I'm trying to shoot for some of that, you know. So that's what I'm shooting for, is giving this. I don't want that. And I think that's good. Maybe make it a little bit. No, let's make this area a little bit transparent here now, like this. It's a little softer like that. And I think it's ready to go. I think it's ready to go. And now let's go ahead and let's go to town. Minimize the brush for a second. I wonder if I can shrink this down. Yeah, I can shrink it down a little bit. Let's go to here. Let's add the background. All right, we're looking good. 13 minutes in, and we're already, I think we're making good time. So let's go ahead and do the texture brush. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to play around some different textures on the cactus itself, because I'm having too much fun. So that's what I might do in the future for this one, is add a little bit more texture. We'll see. What's gonna change that is if I don't know what's gonna change it. Is if things start slowing down, I start getting a little bit too OCD about how my cactus looks, etc., etc. If like I get a little bit like, oh yeah, if I start obsessing over my cactus and things start slowing down, then I might not be as exploratory on my cactus. But right now, I think it's pretty good. I think I can. I think I'm in a good spot. You know, visually. Yeah, I think I'm in a good spot. So I think I'm going to leave it like that. Let's go add another layer, and we're going to go ahead and really get the flow on that one. And then we're going to go ahead and make this really bright. It's kind of, yeah. As I said, I'm becoming like more and more, not lazy, but just really loose with the execution of how I am doing my cactus. So I'm not as concerned with the. There we go. Let's leave that there. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of purple. Let's add some purple here. Yeah, we'll do that. Leave purple there. And let's just back out. I think that's pretty good. Let's go ahead, one more layer, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add some of this, a little bit of this, and then maybe an even brighter version right here, like that. Maybe even a brighter version right here. It's a little bit, and then maybe a darker version right here. And then I want to add a bit of pink, just a little bit of pink here, a little bit of, I think that's good. We'll just leave it like that. Why not? We'll leave it like that. I have a tendency to go overboard, so when I start getting like a little bit, I have a tendency to overthink things with something so simple as this. So we're just gonna leave it like this for now, because it's a quick sketch, man. You don't need to. We don't need to. I don't need to personally. I don't need to make it more complicated. You know, I just need to. There you go. See, keep it simple. Maybe add a little bit of ooh, yeah, that's kind of cool. And let's add like a bright blue. So as you can see, I'm kind of playing around with colors. I've been really like experimental with how I'm placing colors lately. You know, just kind of seeing where it goes. And that's what I've been doing. I've been doing a lot of weird color combinations. Now we're on the cactus at 17 minutes. I might treat this very simple. I don't know. Let's lock a layer. We're going to go ahead and do soft round. Take this. I do it very simple. I just make it bright up top right here, and then I make it darker on the right side. You know, I don't really reinvent the cast shadow reel. I just kind of keep it simple, mainly so I can accomplish my drawing in a short amount of time. You know, I don't want to be kind of tossing or jumping around. Yeah, so here we go. Let's go ahead and let's do the texture. And we're just going to knock it out. We're going to knock it out. Knock it out of the park. Just kind of go as fast as you can. Not worry about the outcome. Just kind of focus on getting it done. You know, really just playing around with the texture, having fun, enjoying the process, not making it into this giant, just not making it into a mountain. Because when we're like artists, we can make drawings into this like this big thing, right? This big old thing that it's just a, you know, it's not worth it. It's not worth making it into this like thing where it's how it looks is important. I get that. Like it should have a nice appearance to a nice appearance, but it shouldn't be like this stressful endeavor, if that makes any sense, right? When we're drawing these things, when we're doing these cactuses, and we're doing any type of drawing, like a lot of us, we make it into this really stressful event, and it shouldn't be that way. Especially when you're doing stuff like this. This is like just play. We're just playing, you know. And that's what these cactuses are for me. They're like, I'm just playing with them. You know, it's good. I'm having fun. I'm playing. And that's what you should be doing. That's how your art should be treated. Like, or at least in my opinion, I think you should enjoy the process of drawing, and it shouldn't be like work sometimes. Like it should be work. There's like times when it's like work, right? And then there's times that, like right now, where you're just supposed to be having a little bit of fun here. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to have a little bit of fun with these drawings and just play around with how I approach them, you know, and not like overthink them. And that can be what happens often with us, is we just overcomplicate the process. So I'm going to do one thing where I was talking about how we were playing. So I think I'm done with how I want it right now. I'm going to go back to one of the I think I want to go back to wet brush. I liked that wet brush. Yeah, I'm going to see what that looks like. I'm going to play around. Was it the ink block overlay, or was it the wet brush? I don't remember. Oh yeah, we're gonna play around some different brushes this time. We're gonna play around with the ink block overlay, and then I'm gonna play around with that wet brush color. You know, like that. Just kind of see where it takes me. Yeah, and let's go ahead. What's the crunch? Oh yeah, I like that. I don't know how I'm going to use it. I like it, but I don't know how I can use it for this drawing, you know? Maybe if I like use it to kind of make like I feel like you can use it for I don't know, I don't know how you can use it for. I'm just playing around and see how I like it. And what's this crunch brush? Just playing around and seeing where it takes me. Oh yeah, I kind of like that. I just don't know how to use some of these brushes, so I think I should take the time to, when I'm playing around with these brushes, I think I should what I should be doing with these cactuses is using them as studies for different brushes and seeing how they react. You know, so I kind of like that crunch brush. That's kind of cool. What's crusty inker look like? No, that's like something else. I want to go to the one other brush I saw. It was like the ragged wet brush, and I really enjoyed that. So I'm gonna go ahead and see what that looks like. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do something like this. And then what would like what if I were to use like a pink, you know? Nah. Just kind of playing around here, seeing how I like it. Now let's go back, and we're gonna go ahead and do one more layer, and we're gonna go ahead and do the ink block dry. Let's go ahead and see what this looks like. Oh, forgot something. And we're going to go ahead and add like a highlight underneath. Like that. And maybe like a bright. And I think I'm done. Let's go ahead and add the thorns and call it a day. I don't want to keep experimenting. there's a limit to how there's like a threshold for me, and I feel like I'm gonna just go overboard. I think it's at a good spot visually, um, to just go ahead and do the thorns. I don't want to overcomplicate it with like things, you know? You can do that a lot, actually. You can just kind of like overcomplicate your drawing with just too much things. And so I'm going to add, it's going to be 12 pixels. And we're just going to go ahead and let's go ahead and just let's do the V. 12 pixels. Let's go ahead and make it 13 pixels. And yeah, let's kind of do this. Or no, and we're gonna need to make it a little bit darker than that. And then let's kind of, I don't stop that. Yep. This I'm going about a different way. I'm trying to kind of give the repeating V's more of an arcing angle, as opposed to just kind of doing like what I was doing before, like just yeah. So I'm trying to make them a little bit more character. They're having a little bit more of a tail to some of them. So I'm trying to draw them slightly different than last time. There we go. Just having fun. Just going about it differently this time. I kind of like it. I'm gonna do this more often, where I kind of find a different set of brushes and kind of experiment with them and see how they work with the texture brush that I normally use each time. And I think this like these brushes that I'm working with, the set of brushes that I'm working with kind of complement the textured brush. So I'm really excited about that. Really pleased with the outcome. Like that. It's good to just keep moving with your artwork, especially when you're very confused about how you want to approach it. So when I do these cactuses, sometimes I like get overly critical, or I overanalyze things. Even as something as mundane as simple as these cactuses, like you think, oh, how can you overanalyze a cactus? Well, after you do 100 of them, you start kind of like getting you start having a cactus drawing formula. And so when you start building up like a formula on how you draw some of your figures or your objects, you can get kind of like it can become kind of formulaic. So you want to try to avoid that. Not at all cost, but like you want to try to not overthink it, and you just want to kind of, when you start making it formulaic, and you're I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. I had an idea, because the idea was I've done so many of these that I have a set formula on how I'm doing it, but I don't try to use it as a crutch, and I'm always seeking to do something slightly different, which is why you see the backgrounds change significantly, why you see me exploring the texture brushes this time. But with that experimentation, you can tend to overanalyze things. Like you can tend to go, you can get, like, you can start overthinking things. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do a yellow. Because you're basically trying to push the visual dialogue or visual language that you've established for your drawing, and you're trying to propel it forward into something better. And sometimes when you're doing that, you can get stuck in this analysis mode, and oh wow, I don't need to do this. I need the flow to be better than that. There you go. And with the new, with all these new like brushes I was using, I could have very well easily had kept correcting or redoing and redoing the areas that I worked on, because everything's so new to me. There's a newness to it, and that newness can be a positive or a negative. And when it's new, you like, oh, this is fun. I'm exploring. I'm learning. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying the moment, and you're experimenting. But like with experimentation, you can go overboard really quickly because you're doing something that you don't really know too well. Like you're testing the boundaries of that medium or media. And for me, I'm testing the boundaries of the new brushes that I was playing around with, experimenting with. And with that, you can kind of go into this area where you're not really making the drawing better. Like you're like experimenting, but for experimenting's sake, and you're not really improving the product. And it takes a little while to really know when to kind of say, okay, I'm done playing around with this brush, or I'm done experimenting for now. I'll come back to it and I'll work on it a different day, or maybe I'll come back and do another drawing using the same brushes or experimenting again, and try to apply it a little bit differently, because it can get a little overwhelming. I was at like a happy median where I was testing the boundaries of the new brushes, but I wasn't like just going like brush happy with the surface, with the drawing surface. And it's really easy to do that when you're exploring the drawing. And I think I reached a happy median where I kind of stopped when I think I stopped right at the point where it's improving it, but it's not going overboard. And that is one of the things that takes practice when you're doing these drawings, and you're experimenting and you're playing with new features to a program, or you're playing around with new media that you're not used to. So anyways, that is it. I am done, man. Look at that. That is a nice cactus. If we look at my first cactus I did, and then we look at this one, we can tell that there has been some major, like, just changes in how I approach doing these cactuses. But I'm really quite happy with this one. This one turned out really well. So I think that is it for the day, man. I think I'm done. I'm done, man. I'm through with today, and I hope you enjoyed today's live art stream. This is Pierson. I am the #1 live art streamer, and if this is your bag, if you like that kind of stuff, please hit the subscribe button. It really does mean a lot to me. And if you already are subscribed, I would really love it if you could share it and talk and show it to someone who might be interested in this type of stuff. Someone who likes watching people, watching artists draw, or watching a work being created, or wants to learn how to draw, or wants to learn like art philosophy, or in some like art philosophy or art, yeah, philosophy, like philosophy of art, and how it can relate to anything in the world that regarding self-improvement. Anyways, I got to get going. I wish you all the best. I hope you have a wonderful evening. This is Pierson. I am the #1 live art streamer in the world, and you have a wonderful night. Cheers.